Hey you guys. Okay, so today you guys are gonna be using these tables. Table one is the life history of the flies, the development of the body length in millimeters of some fly species during their metamorphosis at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So that temperature is important because it's how they basically that's their life history, and basically that's their developments of their body length, and it really goes based on 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Now the L's that you see in here, those are your larvae. The P means the pupae, and then the A is the adult, and that's the egg. So you want to remember how the cycle goes. It goes eggs, and it's the larvae, which is the maggots, and then that's the pupae. Remember, they look brown, and these look white. Um, and then after that, it's an adult. Okay? And now there's four different flies we're going to be looking at, and their development is different. So if they see houseflies in the body or in the corpse, basically they go based on this. So depending on the number of days. So every time, like this is a six, like this is the eggs, right? And and then the and then that will be, if it's an egg, that means it's 2 to 3 days. Okay. If their size is 6 millimeters, so this six means these two six means millimeters. That's the length of and it says L, it's the larvae. Okay, so that means it has 4 to 5 days. If their length is around from 7 to 11 millimeters, then it will be 6 days after death. See that? That will be their post-mortem interval. If they have 12 to 16 days, that means they have 7 days after death. Again, that's their post-mortem interval. Okay. And then, of course, this is your housefly. Now, if it's a pupae, and basically the pupa, basically it's from 12 to 17 days. As you guys could see, it's around 26 to 29 millimeters. The blowflies are different. Blowflies are usually the ones they find. You see how if it's 9 to 11, that means it's 2 to 3 days. So right away, their development starts. Okay, 2 days. Okay, after that. And then this one's 12 to 60 millimeters. That will be 4 to 5 days after that. And then, of course, you have your flesh flies and then your skipper flies. Now, your skipper flies are way it takes them for them to lay their eggs like 5 days after death. Okay. So you have to think about that, especially if you find skipper flies. Okay. So some of the questions that you saw in your lab, I'm going to show you. I think it's the first one. Um, is basically like, say for example, it says here some blowfly eggs and blowfly larvae are 9 to 11 millimeters. So these, they're talking about blowflies. So you're just going to look at blowflies. Okay. And it says 9 to 11 millimeters. So this is 9 to 11 millimeters. So they did find some eggs. Okay. Now keep in mind, now they found some blowfly larvae as well. Okay. So you're not, you're always going to find, you're always going to have to look for the oldest one. Okay. Oldest one. Okay. Because that's really where the time after death started. Okay. That's the number we need. Okay. So it would be 9 to 11 millimeters. It would be and this is blowfly. That means this body, they only found eggs and larvae, and it's 9 to 11 millimeters, a larvae. Then you would have to look at the latest time. That will be 2 to 3 days. So this is 2 to 3 days. That will be your answer, not the egg, not the day one. No, okay. That will be the time after death. Okay, that will be the post-mortem interval. Okay, 2 to 3 days. Okay, so now this one is some blowfly larvae found. Okay, so this is another scenario. Some blowfly larvae found 17 to 20 millimeters. So again, you're going to be looking at blowfly, and you're going to be looking at 17 to 20 millimeters because that's your millimeters. And so I suggest, I mean, you could highlight it or you could, just make sure you keep your eye across it. Now, obviously, this one is 6 to 7 days. Okay, you could tell 17 to 20, that will be 6 to 7 days. Okay, now the flash fly though, and let's look at flash fly here, it's 38 to 40 millimeters. So 38 to 40 millimeters is this one right here. So really, we're just gonna disregard 6. It's really just 7 days. That's the oldest. So that will be 7 days. And the next one is some adult flies and some blowfly pupae. Okay, so flesh flies, adult, some of them will be 19 days. And this is the blowfly pupae. That means 31 to 33 millimeters. 31 to 33 millimeters. So it will be all these. Okay, and this one says it goes up to 20 days. And 31 to 33. Okay, so let me see here, 19. And then the blowfly, and these are okay, so the 31 to 33. So it would be, and this would be the adult. Yeah, it would be 19 days. Now you could easily say, oh, well, maybe it's 20 days, right? Because there's one more here, so, uh, it could be 20 days too. Okay, so, but as for your answers right now, we'll keep it at 19 days since both of them were around this time. Okay, so now these are always approximate numbers. They're usually very approximate. They could be off sometimes. Okay, some adult blowflies and okay, some adult blowflies. So now we're looking at some adult blowflies. They're right here, 21 days. And then blowfly eggs and adult houseflies. Okay, blowfly eggs. Some okay, so some adult blowflies, some adult houseflies. So houseflies, oops, not flesh flies, it's houseflies. It would be 18. Okay, and then some adult. Okay. Blowflies. Okay, so the adult fly is right here. So just by having the adult fly, 36, it will be 21 days, this one. Okay, so blowfly egg, so that doesn't matter. Adult houseflies, so it's right here, 18. So yeah, the best answer will be 21 days on this one. Okay, so again, look at your scenario and pretty much your options. I made it obvious to what your answer is. So always just pick the whatever your option obvious number that is in there that it's available for you. Okay. So again, you always look for the oldest. Okay, always. You know, um, and that's it. Okay. Now for the bottom ones. Okay, for table 2, this is the ecological information for certain species of flies. The developmental delays and accelerations are given in numbers of days relative to the developmental schedule in table 1 above. So depending on the days that you chose, so say for example you chose 21 days. Let's say for example for the blowfly, since this is a blowfly, I don't know, the temperature was at 80 degrees. So that means you need to accelerate the days for 2 days. That means accelerate 2 days. Okay, if it's at 80 degrees. Okay. Um, Let me see. And then, of course, if you accelerate 2 days, that means you're going to subtract -2 from the 21. Okay. Now, on 65 degrees, if it's colder, like cooler, and it says delayed 3 days, that means it took longer. You know what I mean? So it delayed it 3 days. So that means you have 3 days to the 21. Okay, so now after that, you have your ecological traits. Okay, keep in mind that urban versus rural. Rural is like out there without, there's no buildings. It's out in the farm, and urban is more in the city. Okay, and if you could put the time of placement, like maybe the body was moved, so it's especially like if it's a skipper fly and it was sent out in the rural and the skipper flies are only really in the city. So you might want to think, and especially you have to compare your notes on the days here on the top. Okay, so you have to look at the habitat, also the lighting, full to partial, and prefer sunny, and also the drugs. Like houseflies have no effect on it, but blowflies are very sensitive to it, okay, to the effects. And the flush flies have no effect, skipper flies have no effect, but blowflies is really what we use a lot for the post-mortem interval, okay? So you have to look at which are have effects on drugs or not, and then also the habitat is important. Okay, that's pretty much it. I hope that helped you out.